The Phoenix Suns have made a pivot from their head coach, Monty Williams. They announced that they let Monty go of his services following another 30-point deficit at the half during a Game 6 this time around. Last year was against the Dallas Mavericks. Game 7 after the Suns led that series 3-2 on their home court. Luka and Spencer Dinwiddie really put it on Phoenix. This time around, it's against the Denver Nuggets, Game 6 on your home court, down by 30 both years. And the Suns finally said enough is enough, and they let Monty Williams go of his services. Now, the good thing is for Phoenix, there are a lot of really good coaches available this off season, including Nick Nurse, who I think should be at the top of everybody's list. He was the Raptors head coach. But obviously, the thing that you don't like is Monty was a guy that really helped put Phoenix back on the map. Obviously, the Chris Paul trade definitely helped a lot. But the reality is the Phoenix Suns got a new owner. For those who don't know, midway through the year, Matt Ishbia took over, and he's a very aggressive, young-minded owner. And apparently, according to Woj at ESPN, Matt has been calling the shots, even though they do have a general manager in James Jones. Matt is calling all the shots. He's the owner. Some owners are not involved. Apparently, Matt Ishbia is very involved. Matt Ishbia was the guy that tried to steal the ball from Jokic and kind of held on to the ball during Game 4. So for those who don't remember his face, that is Matt. He's going to want to bring in his own guy, and he'll get that opportunity to do that. I'm looking at this from a different angle. Monty Williams and DeAndre Ayton apparently did not see eye to eye. DeAndre, former number 1 overall pick, clearly wanted the ball more, clearly believes he's being underutilized. Going into this offseason, if Monty were still the head coach next year, I probably would have been more confident that Ayton would be traded. Now I'm not 100% sure. So everybody out there screaming Ayton's going to get traded, I don't know. It depends on if the new coach and Matt are fans of Ayton. Here's where I'm going to pivot to next, though. You can't move Devin Booker after the incredible season he had, and he had a really good 5-game stretch against the Nuggets, right? You're not going to move him. He was phenomenal for most of the playoffs. He didn't end well, but he was phenomenal. You just traded for Kevin Durant. You just gave up Mikal Bridges. You're not going to move KD this early into the process. If nothing else, Kevin Durant's a really good player and a great jersey seller. Chris Paul, though, is what comes to mind. Another year where CP3 is unavailable when the games mattered the most, or limping to when the games mattered the most. Chris Paul might be the one that gets the boot. Again, it depends on who they bring in next as head coach. Does he want Chris Paul around? I'm looking at the Suns from a standpoint of Devin Booker really showed me some things on the basketball. I thought he really handled double teams well. He had some double-digit assist games. I think the way to go for Phoenix might be to trade Chris, who's got a half-guaranteed contract next year. Not fully guaranteed. I think only like $15 million is guaranteed next year. You could maybe find somebody that'll pull that contract in. I think the Houston Rockets make a lot of sense for Chris, who I do know he had bought a house in Houston when he was playing there. I think Houston makes a lot of sense. Everybody's screaming James Harden back to Houston. I'm looking like, yo, these young dudes need a mentor and a leader. Maybe Chris finishes his career back in Houston around some young guys that clearly could use him as an OG in their ear, Jalen Greens of the world. I think there's a good chance Matt Ishbia trades CP3 over Ayton. Again, I'm not saying Ayton won't be moved, but it depends on what the next head coach values. And if he looks at Ayton as one of those pieces, maybe, just maybe, Ayton stays, Chris goes. That will be an interesting one. Remember, Phoenix kind of shocked everybody last offseason by agreeing to extend Ayton out of nowhere, matching the offer that the Pacers had made for his services. Everybody was shocked by that one. If I'm not mistaken, that was the previous owner, Robert Sarver, making that call, not Ishbia. So we don't know where he stands with Ayton, and we don't know where he stands with Chris. We do know where he stands with Monty Williams. He let him go.